Are you looking to increase your standing vertical so you can impress your scouts, impress your coaches, and get on a team? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly how I built my standing vertical to an all-time best 46.5-inch standing vert. Really quick, my name is Christopher Spell. I have a 46.5-inch standing vert. I have a 50-inch max approach vert off 2, and I have a 48.5-inch max approach vert off 1 foot, and 3-time Guinness World Record holder for the highest standing jump and the highest standing backflip. I also run my personal training corporation, Against Odds Athletics, and I train clients online. So if you're interested, you can go to againsoddsathletics.com/coaching. Let's get into it. Okay, so one of our first techniques that we're gonna get into is called the fast down up technique. And this is a common problem I see with a lot of my athletes. A lot of the time, my athletes will load up slow and then try to explode fast. But that's not what we want to do. We want to go fast. We want to load the spring. So I want you to pretend that there's like a force plate or a spring underneath your feet, and you're trying to produce as much downward pressure into those springs or our tendons and muscles. We're trying to load that as much as possible. So it's going to be fast, down, up, fast, to whatever your range of motion is. I don't want you to just go fast for the sake of being fast, but not getting enough knee bend and hip bend through it. So different athletes produce force differently. For example, some athletes might produce their max force here. Then I want you to get there fast. I produce force deeper, so I want you to get there fast. So watch an example. Here, I'm lining up. Fast, down, up, fast. So that's what I want you to think, fast. Another common vertical jump mistake is jumping out and not up. So what I'll see athletes do, they'll probably line up way further back, and then they'll be forced to jump at an angle like this, right? But this isn't taller than straight up. So we want to be underneath. We want to be underneath and jumping straight up and down. So first I'm going to show you the wrong way. Most athletes line up back, they jump forward, and then they end up jumping forward. And you could literally tell that you're doing it incorrectly if you're starting in one spot and then landing way far out in front. Here's a good rep. This is what I want you to do. I want you to be directly underneath the Vertec. If you're a righty, your right arm should be on the left side of the prongs, directly underneath it, which usually lines up almost perfectly with the Vertec, maybe slightly back. You're here, and then I end up in the same exact spot as what I stand. So don't jump out, jump straight up. Another common mistake is I see athletes cutting off their arm swing too early, especially their off arm. For example, if I'm a righty, I'll see athletes bend their left arm and cut it off right here and already go to dropping their arm. But we wouldn't throw a football like this, right? We follow through into that opposite pocket if you're a quarterback. Same exact thing with our jump. We want our arms, both arms, to fully extend, and then you dip that arm. And that's how you're gonna get max power output from your arms. So I'm gonna show you a bad example first. So I don't want you to do this. Here, and you barely got that arm up. Here's a good rep. This is what I want you to do. Get that full extension, and then you drop the elbow. So making sure that we're getting a full follow through with our arms and utilizing both arm swing to the maximum ability. I call this next one the stab and push. The concept behind it is we want our arms to go straight up like a rocket ship so that we have this very small little shoulder movement. What we don't want, and what we see all the time, are athletes' arms going all the way back and swiping and doing a big swipe. But that's way too much timing. That's too much timing. You're trying to time the peak of your jump with the peak of your arm, with the peak of your wrist. Too much timing. Let's eliminate all of that. Get that full arm swing, but have that shoulder strength and stability and coordination to be able to stop that near vertical so that we just have this small motion. So I'm going to show you a bad clip right now, what I don't want you to do, where we load up all the way back. We don't want to do that. I'm gonna show you the stab and push, the rocket ship, straight up to the moon. Right there, we're going straight up. That's the stab and push. All right, this one is called glutes through. And what I mean by that, I wanna see the glutes go from full flexion to full hyperextension. And we might even see a slight hyperextended curve this way from the glutes coming all the way through. A bad rep, the glutes don't get to that full position, which means that we're not utilizing the full maximum ability for the hips to come through and produce upward force. So a bad rep would look something like this. I'm gonna exaggerate it, so this is gonna be over exaggerated, but a bad rep would be where we're not using our glutes to the maximum ability. Our body's kind of perfectly straight and not that arch, knowing that our glutes are coming all the way through in that glute hyperextension. So this is what I want you to do. Again, visualize that slight arc that I have. Good. So that is glutes through, full glute hyperextension. All right, now this technique is about head positioning on our vertical jump. Super common problem is that athletes, when they jump, will just want to look straight up. But we can literally tell right now, if we jump straight, if we look straight up, this left shoulder isn't able to dip as much. So I'm fully reaching, but watch what happens when I dip this left shoulder and get my head to the side. You'll literally be able to see when one shoulder dips, the other one raises, and I'm able to get that full maximum reach. I'll show you right here. I'm here looking straight up. I can only get right here, and this is full extension, I promise. But what happens when I get my head to the side, it gives me an extra 1 to 2 prongs, half an inch to an inch. And that's gonna be super important, okay? So we're gonna look at it from a different angle, and we're going to film exactly how it looks from the side for a good rep and a bad rep. All right, so this is a bad rep where we're just looking straight up, not allowing our shoulders to dip. We don't wanna do this. Here, looking straight up at the Vertec. No dip in the shoulder there, which is gonna raise our other shoulder. This is what I want you to do. Head slightly to the side. We're still looking at where we're hitting, because we don't just wanna not look where we're hitting. We're still looking, but out of the peripheral vision of my right eye. So I'm here. Good. Head to the side. That's the head positioning that we want to get to for maximum standing vertical jump. Now here's an important note. When we're testing ourselves, we're practicing by ourselves, I always want you to make sure that you're using your absolute maximum reach, not cheating the reach at all. But with that being said, a lower reach number with the same jump touch height is going to produce a higher looking number. So do with that information what you will. But you know, when you're going for the scouts or the combine, you know, depending on if you're able to pack the reach is going to produce different standing reach numbers. A higher standing reach is going to produce a lower standing vertical jump number. So again, you have to understand that if you're going for impressing scouts with large numbers, that you can utilize different reaches within reason. Level shoulders is going to produce a lower height than a maximum reach. All right, so be smart with how you practice and be smart with how you show off yourself to scouts and coaches in order to produce a higher number to get on teams. Now these techniques will definitely help improve your standing vertical in an inch, half an inch, 2 inches, around that range, you know, can optimize that much, but it's not the full picture because a lot of the standing vertical jump is just lower body power output and strength. So there's a whole other piece to increasing your standing vertical jump that isn't just instantaneous technique driven, but it's slow bake over time of, you know, months and years of increasing your standing vertical jump via increasing your leg strength and your plyometric ability, your explosiveness through different various plyometric activities, you know. And we'll create a complete separate video for how to go about that, but that is a lot about programming, consistency, and patience over the long term. All right, now let's review all of the techniques that we went over. We went over the fast down up phase, the jump up, not out technique, focusing on where we're producing the force. We're not cutting off our arm swing. We're doing the stab and push, which is the rocket ship straight up rather than doing this huge, large, exaggerated arm swing. We're making sure that our glutes are through on the full glute hyperextension with that slight arch that we might see. And our head is not looking straight up, but is going slightly to the side to dip our shoulder down and raise our reach shoulder. These are the standing vertical jump techniques that I've used along with my lower body strength and power output program over a decent period of time that I've used to increase my vertical to a 46.5 inches standing. If you guys would like my help, I work with clients online, one-on-one, where we go over Zoom calls, over your jump technique, I correct your videos, and I give you a full program each month. If you guys are interested in that, you guys can click the link below, againsoddsathletics.com/coaching. I'll catch you guys in the next one for our 1 foot vertical jump and our 2 foot vertical jump and more vertical jump videos.